Hey, alright, so I'm in one of the most beautiful places in the world, which is the US Midwest in the fall. Walk with me.
Ow.
So I've got this redirect slash 3-to-1 MA that I've been working on for the last several months. Alright, 2 years ago, Richard Mumford puts up a video. It was called On-Byte Redirect Redefined, or defined, something like that. I'll put a link down below. Basically, in this video, he talked about, he did a bunch of measurements, he did a bunch of weight on branches and looked at the physics of what happens with redirects. It's a great video, a lot of information there, as usual. Good job, Richard. But there was one piece in that jumped out at me right in the middle. He talked about creating a 3-to-1 mechanical advantage using an aluminum ring, along with a tether and a carabiner, a little keychain carabiner. And it looked like kind of like this. Good stuff, right? And he credits a guy named Dan Curtis in the UK. He credits Dan with using the aluminum ring and the little keychain carabiner to make the system retrievable. I like the idea of using 3-to-1 mechanical advantage when I'm doing a limb walk. I don't want to go out and buy a bunch of specialty equipment. There were several things I wanted to do. One thing, I wanted it to be on the tip, not on the tail end of the rope. The reason for this is when you're... okay, I drop things a lot. Maybe that means I shouldn't be climbing trees. But regardless, I do. So I don't want to have to keep track of my tail. I don't want it clipped into a carabiner on my harness. I don't want to take a chance that I could lose that and then I'm stuck out on a limb somewhere and I got to scramble my way back up. Let me tell you about the system I'm calling SCAM, S-C-A-M, or Single Carabiner Access Method. I'm calling it SCAM because it's deceptively simple and I probably ripped it off from somebody else unconsciously. If I did, I apologize. I'll give you credit down below. But I haven't seen anybody doing this. I've read through endless threads on redirects for SRT. Maybe that's because it's incredibly unsafe and I'm going to die doing this, but you can point that out down below if you want to. Another advantage to the SCAM system is that it is self-tending. If you're climbing with mechanical, especially one of the more advanced ones, like the Akimbo, like the Bulldog Bone, the Zigzag, intending those are a little bit different, and I think the access system that you use for 3-to-1, for redirects, for whatever, should be a little bit different to match that. Retrievable hardware was a big thing. I mean, don't make me go climbing back up in the tree just to get my hardware back. Send it to me. If I'm on the other side of the tree, send it to me over there. I want it to come to me. I don't want to go get it. I'm essentially lazy. Basically, something that's so easy that it has to be a scam. It's a scam system. Single carabiner access method. Scam. Okay. Let me show you. Before I take this up in a tree, here's the short and simple version of it. Take your carabiner of choice. Clip it on your rope. I'm going to take it up here. I'm going to wrap it around one time. And then I'm going to do another half turn around. And I'm going to pull a bite through. That's the whole knot right there. Now with this bite I just pulled through, I'm going to take it down here and I'm going to hook it onto the same carabiner as my multi-sender. There's a reason for that, and I'm going to tell you about that in just a second. But for right now, hook it onto the same carabiner, and look, here's the finished knot up above. Let me get a good shot of that. Simple, sweet, that's it. And what that does is it gives you 3-to-1 mechanical advantage here. Now this works great, but let me show you how to make it even better. First issue I ran into is if you try pulling above your climbing device, the device itself can get side-loaded and it can go wonky down here. That's not good. If you use an adjustable rope bridge, you can use the advantage that you can give yourself some slack, move out here, and now the cool thing is you are below your device. Now what the 3-to-1 gives you in this case is it starts tending your device for you. That's why it was important to put that extra loop and pull this bite down and hook it onto the same carabiner as your device. Now, you pull the rope, you go up. You pull your device, you go down. It's self-tending. It'll pull your device up for you. It'll keep it nicely in line because it's actually pulling up the same carabiner that you're hanging off of. Okay, Now let's talk about friction in the system. This is a long way from ideal mechanical advantage. You've got a lot of friction because of that carabiner we added. So the system is called SCAM, and it relies on a single carabiner. I want to talk really quick about carabiners. Don't hang on something that won't lock. You need a locking carabiner of some kind. It can be as simple as this little guy. Pick one with higher kilonewton rating, but any carabiner will do. Now, here's some ways to improve the system. If it's broader on top and narrower at the bottom, they tend to work a little bit better, because at the bottom you want it to channel that 3-to-1 advantage. And at the top, you've got to have room for the knot to sit up on top nicely. So a carabiner like this works just fine. If you want to improve the system, then you definitely do not want to get the revolver. I did, and I thought, this is a revolver. Everybody talks about that. It'll be perfect for it. If you look at the design of the revolver, if you're going to be using it for 3-to-1 this way and taking advantage of that pulley to reduce friction on the system, the problem with this design is the knot's got to sit on top of the narrow part. It's got to hang this way. And if you look at the revolver, the pulley on it is kind of chintzy. It works fine, but that's a tiny little pulley. So I found something better. This one. This is the Petzl Roll Clip Z. Great carabiner. Look at the size of the pulley on it. Also, it's got a triple lock on it. So you got 3 motions to unlock it. It's nice and broad on top. If you got to pick the ultimate carabiner to use with the SCAM system, there you go. Petzl Roll Clip Z. The advantage of having a pulley built in to the system is you're still using a single carabiner. By adding this, you're reducing it. You're getting closer to ideal mechanical advantage of 3-to-1, which you're never going to hit completely. You never have a 3-to-1 mechanical advantage system unless you have a zero friction system, and you're not going to see that. But this gets you closer, and that's good. All right, so same thing again, this time with the roll clip. So roll clip on the rope. Going to go around once, and another half turn, and then pull a bite through. Another beautiful thing about having this on a single carabiner down here that you're already using in your main system is that when it comes time to let go, again, lanyard in, make sure you're safe in the tree, take that bite off, then all you have to do is tend it, and it comes right back to you. So that's the SCAM system. Let's take it up in the tree and I'll show you something practical with it. Okay, before I head up, one thing I want to point out is that since I started using the SCAM system up in the tree, I need a lot more tail. So I've started putting my bag down on the front end of the tree where I'm climbing, and climb and pull rope out of the bag as I need it, instead of on the basal anchor like I normally would. So on the basal anchor right now, I've got my line coming down from the tip. It's tied off, and I've put enough slack down here so that I can be lowered if I run into some kind of an emergency, but I don't keep the bag back there anymore. I also want to thank Tom Dunlap for this little gem. It makes my foot ascender tend like a dream, and I just pop it off and onto my belt once I'm up in the tree. So thanks, Tom. Alright, so I'm in a beautiful Wisconsin bur oak. A lot of people don't know this, but my father was a carpenter. And he taught me a lot about wood, or he tried to teach me a lot about wood. I don't remember most of it, honestly. But one thing I do remember him saying about this kind of tree is that if it ain't bur oak, don't fix it. So, I still don't know what that means. So if I lanyard in right here, take your carabiner of choice. Flip it on your main line. Give yourself some slack. Want to go around once. Do another half turn. And pull a bite through. That's it. Once you get back down to your multi-sender, you want to clip it into the same carabiner. Again, that's going to make it auto tend once I start going back down.
Once that's in there, you can take out the slack, put some weight on it, check it, make sure the knot's holding good. Then I'm going to go down and go for a limb walk. The nice thing about this really is the tending. With a little more slack on my rope bridge, I can take this thing out now. Once you get back out to a position in the tree, let's say I want to do a redirect at this point, or I want to lower my MA system and work down here. I can do either of those pretty simply. There, so I'm going to lanyard in. I'm going to slack my line here. Now when I'm ready to take out the 3-to-1, again, it's a simple matter. Make sure you got your lanyard on. Take out the bite that you put in, and then just remove the slack. As it reaches the top, it's going to come right back to you. Very slick. Put that away, and then I'm ready to go again. I don't have to reconnect my primary device. I'm good. So that's really it. That is the SCAM 3-to-1 system. In the next video, I'm going to show you the SCAM 3-to-1 with a redirect built in.